man.
Of a neighbor?
I own a house in your neighborhood.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
In the Marina area. But,
right.
First, I got to ask you, you've been with Sean, obviously. You've been sparred with him hundreds of times. Break down this fight.
This is a tough fight. This is a really hard fight for both guys. I watched some footage on Ugas, and he has good speed, power, and he's a thinking type of fighter. It's the type of fight that, I mean, any of these guys get in the room with anybody. I mean, Errol Spence is the one that's next, and man, I think that me working with Sean and knowing how he is, he has a great chance. So he'll be able to take the shots. In order for Sean to be able to get a victory in a fight like this, I think that he needs to keep a step up tempo. The guy, he's seen Ugas, seems like he likes to think a lot, and he put his punches together. Don't give him a chance to put his punches together. Don't give him a chance to think. And that's going to be the key to Sean. Now, for Ugas, I mean, he has to use his height. And, the jab, keep the jab out there, the long right hand, something that I had problems with when I fought Vernon Forrest. He has to stay long and try to be long when he's fighting Sean Porter. Probably make it more successful for him. But this, and all the this is a great fight. Great matchup, great fight. This is the type of fight that people want to watch.
And obviously, are you pulling for Sean?
Obviously, I'm pulling for Sean. I mean, that's my little brother, but I'm just saying both guys. This is a great fight. I like both guys. I like both guys. They're good, great gentlemen, and great for the sport of boxing. And I think that both of these guys. I mean, Sean's a world champion. This guy, he's trying to be world champion. He's going for it. I'm excited to watch the fight.
Now, next week we have a guy coming up in weight. We all know your history is going up in weight for the big fights.
First fighter coming to the scale.
Spence, Mikey Garcia. No pressure, but one sugar already took Mikey Garcia. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mikey Garcia. So.
He did. Yeah. This is another great fight. I love Mikey Garcia. I think he's a great fighter. Especially in his weight division, him moving up from 126 to 130 to 135, then jump to 47. It's going to be really, really hard against somebody like Errol Spence. It's a southpaw, and he's a big welterweight. He's not a regular welterweight where you're going up to a guy that's regular. He's a big welterweight where he can fight middleweight. As much as I try to see it, I can't see Mike Garcia being able to beat Spence. Now, it can happen. Anything happen in a fight. Anything happen in a fight, especially when you have a guy like Mike Garcia that's really, really, he's a great fighter. But I mean, I can't see him beat a guy that's so much bigger than him, southpaw, and that's really good too as well. I can't see it. So that's why we go to the fight. I'm glad that Errol Spence accepted. I'm glad that Mike Garcia wants to make a challenge for greatness, and I think it's honorable.
Who's pound for pound the best fighter in the world? You were pound for pound the best at some point. At one point.
You know what? I don't know who's pound for pound the best. I'm just gonna tell you the fighter that I like a lot. The fighter that I really respect and like a lot is Lomachenko. He pretty much can do everything, anything. And he's got good speed, good power, good everything. He has another young little gun on his trail, little Tank. That's gonna be a really good fight. We'll see what happens with that. But who else is good? I mean, there's a lot of good fighters I think right now. Fighters that could be considered pound for pound. It's like you can just choose one. They're all good.
Terrence Crawford might look at this video and say,
now coming to the stage, Sean Porter.
Terrence Crawford is another one that could be considered pound for pound. I love his style. I love that he can switch from southpaw and right-handed and do very well. Like he can very well be the pound for pound best. Like I said, you can just choose one. You can put your hand into the basket and say, okay, all these fighters, let's choose one. Because they're all that good.
I saw two fighters you mentioned that reminded me of you. I said, Devin Haney is you without the power.
147.
Yeah.
147.
And I'm not sure if you saw Jared Boots Ennis.
I haven't seen
He
him.
he's from the Philadelphia area. He kind of reminds me of you, flashy, power, knock you down, great right hands, you know what I mean? Put 10 punches together, 2.5 seconds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That type of skill set, that type of talent, you know what I mean?
I gotta look out for him.
Yeah, Jared
man.
Boots Ennis. I think you would have, Jerron Boots Ennis, I think his name is.
Jaron Boots Ennis.
Sean Porter, 146.3. 146.3 from Mr. Sean Porter.
Later in your career, I'm at a later age. How challenging is it to be that?
I mean, it's so challenging to fight at a later age when you're older because in your mind you believe you can do all these different things, and you did do all of them. I was very fast. I moved very well. I did all these great things, and then you get in the ring with some young kid that's hasn't even been living maybe half your time. And there's no way this little young kid's gonna beat me. But then you started getting hit with jabs and right hands and body shots. Like, what the hell's going on here? Said body just won't respond. It's the most, I gotta say, frustrating thing. It's the most frustrating thing to be in the ring, knowing you can do something and can't do it, can't do anything. So it's just frustrating.
Father Time just takes
Father Time just takes its time. You just can't do anything.
Now, you went from, I think, Madison Square Garden, Vernon Forest, Madison Square Garden, then y'all went to Indianapolis, right? If I'm not mistaken?
Yes.
You immediately wanted that rematch without reservations. Can you speak to Tyson Fury? Do you think Tyson Fury ducked Deontay Wilder, or do you think that it was just a business move and he just went to ESPN? I'm not sure if you've been keeping up with it.
I haven't been keeping up with it, but maybe, like with me, I wanted to be the best, and I believe that when I fought Vern the first time, I wasn't at my 100% best. I thought that at my 100% best, or being a lot better, that I would beat him. It turned out to be the same type of. Well, this fight, the first fight was actually more exciting than the second fight. The second fight was boring to me. It was boring when I was in the ring fighting because it was like a lot of holding and clinching, and we didn't get a chance to really mix it up like I wanted to. The first fight, he hit me, and then even during that, I actually fought him the whole fight, and we actually had we actually went at it. I was still trying to get a knockout, even though he knocked me down twice. With Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, a lot of times nowadays things are more business, if you will, and it's probably not between the fighters that they fought again or not. It's between the promoters or however they're gonna set it up to get the most money out of it, so people can see a good fight again. So back then, I was able to lead with my heart, say, no, I want to fight again. Forget that, we're gonna do this again. Nowadays, like, all right, yeah, that's all nice and cool and everything, but we gotta make sure everybody get paid.
I skipped over a question I forgot to ask you.
Okay. That's a good question. I don't know. I wouldn't say I know who wins because Tank has very good power. He's young and he's hungry. And it's hard to determine what can happen when somebody's that hungry and that determined and that young and doesn't know how to lose. Whereas Lomachenko doesn't really know how to lose, and he's really good and he has so much experience, stuff like that, but we don't know what's going on in his life at Father Time, this, that. So, I mean, things can change, in the fight. I've been liking Lomachenko for a long time. I think that he's done a lot of great things in the sport of boxing, amateur and professional. But when you have a young killer coming up and that's determined, you can't knock that. It doesn't matter if they pound for pound or not. You can't knock it.
Who reminds you of yourself?
It's funny. Go ahead.
Like, do you ever sit back and watch it? I watch your highlights. I swear before Jesus Christ, I've watched your highlight reel. You jumping on the top of the ring, you knock at least 150 times. I'm from LA, so I mean, I've watched your highlight reel on YouTube at least 150 times. No, I'm not bullshitting. Like, do you ever realize what you did? 27-0, 28-0. You realize what you were doing to kids? You ever look back and think like,
You know what? I didn't really look at it, but I knew my mentality. My mentality was
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get going with our
different for a lot of people
weigh-ins
right
here.
now. It's just
We got
different.
our fight card
And I knew
from
that I was
Dignity Health
coming.
Sports
I was going
Bar
to get
tomorrow
you.
in Carson,
And
California.
it's just
A
being me.
fantastic
Like I
car
didn't
presented by Premier
worry
Boxing
about the
Champions
outcome or what
in
before.
association
After I
with
just
TGB
I'm
Promotion.
coming to eat. I'm coming
We're
to
going to
show
get
you.
things started with our first fight tomorrow. It's going to be on FS1
All right.
on
What you got coming up in
PBC
boxing?
tomorrow
Anything
night.
you need to promote?
First up,
I don't have anything coming up in boxing right now. I'm just enjoying boxing, enjoying life, and retired. You know, I have a little reality show with me and my girl. We're doing our thing. But as far as boxing, I'm just reality show.
I got a house on Virginus. I got a house on Virginus.
Okay.
Right by the bus family. So that's how. Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate it.